Okay, Herc, time to hand out a grade for the U.S. women's national team in their first test of a World Cup year. I'm going to hand out the grade here, but can I preface this grade first?
Sure.
It's a World Cup year, so the standard has to be higher, right?
Okay.
The standard has to be very, very high.
Sacando el paraguas, what's going on here?
I'm going to be strict. I'm going to be harsh here. I know it was a 4-0 victory, but I'm giving the U.S. women a C+. Now, some people will say, oh, that's a terrible grade. Let me just tell you, folks, a C is okay. All right, it's not a terrible grade. It's average.
In your house.
It's average. It gets the job done, especially 6 months from the World Cup. I'm not setting off any panic alarms here, but I'm being honest, Herc. I am very nervous about this team in a World Cup year. One, the thing that most bothered me, that most worried me about the U.S. women in 2022 was the lack of finishing, okay? And we saw that in this game against New Zealand. They dominate the first half, cannot score a goal. The first goal doesn't come till the 52nd minute. Beyond that, I'm really starting to be worried, Herc, about this midfield. And it's not necessarily the personnel, because I think we know who the people are going to be, but it's how it functions. I think it's clear that Andi Sullivan has to be on the field, but I think it's also clear that Andi Sullivan is not Julie Ertz. She cannot do that 6 job by herself. So what does that mean? Does that mean Lindsey Horan has to drop back and she has to be a little bit more defensive? I don't think Lindsey Horan was at her best against New Zealand the other night. It's one game. I'm not worried with a quality player like Lindsey Horan. The other big issue in that midfield is we're not getting news, and the little news that we are getting about Sam Mewis is not very good. And if you remember, Herc, 2 years ago, you always talk about this, that the ESPN FC top 50 rankings, Sam Mewis was the #1 player. And I'm starting to seriously doubt if she's going to be available for this World Cup. So I look at those two things, the finishing and the midfield, and I'm starting to get nervous. Real quick, why the plus? You got goals from your goal scorers. No Sophia Smith. Your wide player who's most likely to score other than Sophia Smith, Mallory Pugh, Mallory Swanson gets a brace, and Alex Morgan scores. That's never a bad thing. Plus, Emily Fox at left back. If there was one A-plus performance in this game for me, it was Emily Fox at left back. And let me tell you why this is so important. Because Crystal Dunn, as we know, is coming back from pregnancy. If Crystal Dunn can't get back to her left back best, they may need the U.S. women another option at left back. Emily Fox is showing us that she can indeed potentially, be that option, not just defensively, but helping you in attack as well. It also creates a situation, Herc, where Crystal Dunn can be moved upfield to help you in midfield or to help you in that front three, because the U.S. needs help in midfield and in the final third, and we know Crystal Dunn is a game changer in that part of the field at club level. So if Emily Fox can lock down left back and free Crystal Dunn to be an attacker, that would be huge for the U.S. women's national team, Herc. C+, am I being too harsh?
No, I think it's just, but you need to put more context into why this is catastrophic in my eyes. Because the C+ doesn't come against England. It doesn't come against Spain. It's not against Germany. It's not against a team you think you will face in the quarter semis or even final. It comes against New Zealand. You can talk about the woeful finishing, but you're still going to bank on Alex Morgan. You're still going to bank on Swanson. You're still going to bank on some of those players. Even at Trinity Rodman, who got a few assists in this game. Julie Ertz in the middle, I think it's pretty evident what you're missing when Julie Ertz isn't on the field and the lack of really anything to allow them to get going forward, defensively, whatever you want, balance-wise. We sit here, you've sat here and told me how this U.S. women's national team is still the favorite come World Cup time. We've had national team players here and tell us, Sophia Smith was here, told us, they're still the favorites. Do not disrespect them. I think the rest of the world is caught up. I think the rest of the world technically, tactically, comes to coaching, is there. Vlatko hasn't shown me anything since he took charge that would make me think with the talent that he has at his disposal right now, this is a back-to-back team.
Back-to-back. What would be so special if they can win it all in 2023? Herc, as we say, plenty of time to get things sorted out. Some big pieces not there. We mentioned Sophia Smith, Megan Rapinoe, some other players aside from Sam Mewis that are still on the mend. So hopefully the U.S. women's national team will be at full strength sooner rather than later. They got another game coming up tomorrow, also against New Zealand.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.